Hello. Okay, so I'm Katie, as you probably know. You're probably here from my Instagram, which is at gymratdiaries. I can link it below. And I'm totally new to vlogging and all that, so it's gonna be a little awkward, so bear with me. But today I wanted to talk about why I stopped my cut right in the middle, after like 10 weeks, bang in the middle of summer, when I'm going on vacation. There's still like a month and a half of summer left, all that stuff. So in case you weren't following along before, I did a big bulk during the winter, so about 6 months, from like October till end of April, November to the end of April, around there. So I did a bulk. I gained about 12, 13 pounds. I wanted to gain a little bit more, but I got this nasty flu in the middle of it, lost like 6 pounds from that. It took me like 3 or 4 weeks to just gain that back. So anyways, put on about 13 pounds, and then end of April, like last week of April, I started my cut because summer, and I just wanted to feel more comfortable in my body. I was getting a little bit bigger than what I was used to, like I felt like I had a lot of body confidence. I was very confident in my body. It's just my stomach area gets bloated easily. Like that's where I keep a lot of my fat. So I decided like, okay, I want to do a cut. I set a goal for a weight and a body fat that I wanted to hit. And so I did that. So I started my cut about 12 weeks ago. 11-ish weeks ago. I stopped probably about a week ago. I did hit my goal. Like I dropped about 7 pounds, a little over 2.5% body fat, which was I wanted to drop only about 5 pounds. So I went a little bit lower than I intended, but I hit my goals. It was fine. But then instead of maintaining that or trying to get a little leaner, I decided that no, I want to gain a few pounds back. I want to increase my body fat a little bit, which everyone's like, what the fuck, why? Sorry for swearing. Everyone's like, why? And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't feel good, like people don't understand that there's such a thing as too lean, and I felt personally for my body, I felt too lean. I felt that I looked too lean, and like I feel like a lot of people in the fitness world don't understand that because everyone just wants to be lean. They see the competitors, like the physique competitors, they want to be as lean as that, and that's like single digits body fat, which is not healthy. And personally, I don't want to look like that. I don't want to be that lean. So people see that and they're like, that's like, they want to strive for that, but I think that's too lean. I'm not a competitor. I don't plan on competing anytime soon, and so I don't need to be that lean. So why would I be, like I don't think it looks healthy for everyday life. I don't think on me that level of leanness looks healthy. Oh my god, my voice is cracking. I'm a little nervous, guys. So I just don't think it's healthy. I don't think I looked good. I felt that I looked skinny, and for someone who I've been skinny all my life, and for the past 3 years since I began like weightlifting, putting on muscle and bodybuilding, even though I'm still like a noodle here, anyways, and I just felt that when I got lean, like I hadn't been that weight for about 4 months, it was lower than I intended for it to be. Like this was probably about 2 weeks ago. I've gained about like 2-3-ish pounds back from that, but I just felt skinny. And I didn't want that. I didn't like it. I didn't like how I felt or how I looked. I mean, obviously I have a different perception of myself than everyone else does. Like I don't see what other people do. But when I looked in the mirror, I saw a skinny girl. And I didn't like that. I didn't like how I felt when I looked in the mirror. I didn't like how I felt when I was doing my workouts. Like I just felt skinny. I felt deflated. And so it was cool to see that my body could do that, like see all the muscle that I built. I get that you want to be lean, like people want to be lean, they put on muscle. I wanted to be lean. I wanted to see what I had built. My main goal was not abs, but I wanted my stomach to not just be bloated all the time from all the food that I was consuming during my bulk. So it was cool to see abs. When I even like looked in the mirror, I was like, whoa, shit, like that's cool. Like I got these abs, look at this, like you could see them, and it's like exciting because all your hard work's paying off. Like I dieted pretty hard. I did my cardio probably up to 4-ish times a week. I did my workouts. Like I worked freaking hard, and it showed, which was great. So then I had, I have like a you can see the muscle definition in my abs, but then it's like, okay, cool. And like, that's it. That's it. Like you see the definition in your abs, and then there's nothing that comes from that, you know? Like, my main goal has always been hypertrophy and strength. And so I didn't lose much strength. I actually did hit a few PRs during my 10-week cut. But the hypertrophy wasn't there. I looked skinny, and it just felt like, well, this is staying away from my goal. You know, like, my ultimate goal is to build a lot of muscle, and I wanted to be lean, which is great, but I felt like I was almost being counterproductive, you know, because I kept shedding fat, and like, I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyways, and then after a while, probably after about 7 or so weeks, like for the first half, 2/3 of it, I felt great. But then when you're in a caloric deficit, when you're in a caloric deficit, you feel it after a while, you know, like, you can feel the lack of energy. You feel you don't feel as good, you know? Like, my workouts, sometimes I didn't feel like I was all there mentally or physically. Like, I felt like I could have done harder, but my body just wouldn't let me. And like, they became more of a chore. Like, working out for the past 3 years has been my absolute passion. I love it. I love fitness of most forms. I love what I can do. I love seeing how I can improve. But then my workouts just kind of started feeling like a chore, and I didn't like it. They didn't feel like a passion, you know? And I'd get like anxious about cardio, like, oh, I didn't do cardio today, I have to do it tomorrow. Like, what should I do? Like, I don't want to do sprints because I hate doing sprints. You know, like, it just didn't feel like I was enjoying it, you know? And it didn't feel like I was improving on anything, because all I was focused on was aesthetics. I was eating for aesthetics, and I was working out for aesthetics, and not for overall fitness, improvement, performance. Like, I went through this whole last summer. I started eating for performance. I stopped, you know, like, purposely like restricting any number of macros. I stopped counting macros for a long time last year, about 5 months, and I was eating for performance. I was focusing on performance in all aspects, like, you know, like powerlifting, bodybuilding, ollie lifting, conditioning, sprints, mobility, like all that stuff. I was working on all that stuff, and I felt so good. I felt great. My workouts were fun. I was eating a lot of good food. I was having fun. And so it was great. And so I kind of want to get back to that, because eating for aesthetics and working out for aesthetics was great. It's fun. I love it. Like, most of my workouts are based on bodybuilding, and so I love that. But then it just got old, you know? Because it's like, I want ice cream. I love ice cream, and I love food and carbs and fats and peanut butter. So I want to get back to, training like an athlete. Because if you train like an athlete and you eat like an athlete, you will look like an athlete. Simple as that. Like, I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish in terms of fitness, and, you know, staying in a caloric deficit won't help with that. I mean, I was fine. I was still eating a lot, but my macros were ridiculously high in my bulk. Like, they were so high. And then by about week 6 in my cut, I was at like 900 calories less than on my bulk. So I was still eating more than most people eat, to be honest. But my body wasn't used to that. My body was not used to functioning on that or performing at a high level of that. And so this is what's best for my health. And again, my internal health started suffering because I've had complications for my entire life. And recently they got better, but, you know, when I started cutting, my internal health suffered, and I'm not willing to risk that, like lifelong consequences for that, just to have abs. So, you know, internal health for me is first and foremost just the most important. So if I need to have a little more body fat for everything to function properly, so be it. You know, I'm not gonna risk my health just to look a certain way. So I'm doing that. And I also told myself, I told a few of my friends that, like, when they were asking about my cutting, or, you know, if people ask me on Instagram, I said I'm not gonna let it affect my life, my social life, because it's summer. People like to go out. I love sangria. I love going to patios. I love going out with my friends. I work 2 jobs, and I'm very active at both of them. And people go out, you know, like, I want to do things in the summer. I want to enjoy my summer. I want to go to the beach. If someone says, let's go, you know, for frozen yogurt, yeah, I'm going to go. Let's go grab a drink on a patio. Yeah, I'm going to go. So I told myself I wouldn't let it affect my social life like that. I didn't want to feel restricted. I didn't want to feel like how they say some competitors are very isolated because all they do is diet and train. I told myself I'm not going to let that happen. So I didn't. You know, there were a few times where I was debating going out kind of because I was, you know, like I went out already once this week. It's supposed to be leg day tomorrow. You know, I got to do my squats and like my cardio. But then like I had to just sort of kind of give myself a reality check. Like, Katie, no one fucking cares if you're at this percent body fat or that percent body fat. You know, like you're not going to remember that. Are you going to remember, you know, having fun and making good memories and like, you know, hanging out with your friends? Yeah, you're going to remember that. So I went out almost every time that I could within reason because, you know, I work, so gotta be a responsible adult sometimes. But yeah, I went out and like life's too short to not have fun in the summer, you know? Sometimes I don't have time also, you know? I had to rest 2 days, like I've had to rest a few days in a row sometimes because I'm working so much. Sometimes I work 14 or 15-hour days and that's by choice. Like I choose to pick up shifts to work that long and I don't complain about it, you know? But I have to live with not working out those days. So it's just, I'm busy, I have to buy food sometimes, I'll have food at work, you know, I'll go out, I'll miss a meal, I won't hit my protein sometimes, you know, I'm still counting my macros, I'm still doing my cardio, I'm still lifting, I'm not doing as much cardio, maybe twice a week now instead of 3 to 4 times. So I'm still doing all that, I'm very, very disciplined and I know that, but that allows me to have fun. And if I'm not so strict with, you know, maintaining a certain level of body fat, maintaining a certain weight, you know, like worrying about the cuts in my abs or the striations in my shoulders, you know, I'm going to have more fun. I'm going to choose, you know, working, going out, living my life rather than worrying about that. You know, it's not a big deal to me. Like one day, maybe I will want to maintain a very, very lean physique and like maybe I'll compete one day. I doubt it, but maybe, you never know, right? I might compete. I know that I can do it now. I know that I can maintain my muscle mass. I know that I can maintain leanness and I have the discipline to do so. And it's cool, you know, it's cool to see it all happen and it's great. And it was a good experience and I'm glad I did it. But I intend on gaining a couple pounds back before I go, you know, back full on to bulk mode in the fall. So I'll probably gain a few pounds back. My macros are a little higher now, mostly my carbs, ice cream and brownies and cereal and bagels and all that fun stuff. So I'm just kind of like doing me now, you know, I don't count super strictly. If you see my Instagram, I'll have a pizza at work, I'll go for ice cream. I go out a couple nights a week, not a couple, maybe once a week. I'm focusing on being an athlete, I'm focusing on real life versus Instagram fitness life, you know, because sometimes that does take over. Sometimes, you know, you forget what is more important, if that makes sense. So now I'm just focusing on real life, you know, I'm moving into a new apartment. I'm going into my 4th year at university. I've got 2 jobs right now. You know, I'm hanging out with my friends. I'm focusing on my training. I'm focusing on just sort of doing life. You know, it's not a big deal to have abs as most people think. Like, yes, I'm gonna be in 5 days, I'm gonna be on the beach for a full week and I'm gonna be living in a bathing suit. So I am still within reason, you know, like keeping my diet pretty tight, keeping my workouts going, but I'm just doing me. Like, I'm just having fun. So anyways, hopefully I can actually get this to upload. If you have any comments or feedback either on my, you know, my decision, anything I talked about at all, vlogging in general, leave them below or leave them on my Instagram when I sort of like post about that this video is live. I'd love to have, like, I love feedback. I love starting, you know, conversation, especially about topics like this because they're very important to me. And so just let me know what you think. Let me know if you want me to vlog about anything in specific. I don't know how often I can do this, but I can try. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. So there's your hashtag GymRatRambles. I'll see you guys later.